need to stop jumping into a game without a plan on how you are going to attack your opponent or the skills necessary to be a high-level passer of the football. These 5 tips are going to improve your ability to pass the football no matter what scheme, offense, or playbook you are running. Now, our first tip is have a game plan. This is a very broad tip, but I think way too many people load up a game without really understanding a few major things. You really have to have a scheme or offense that you are super comfortable in, and in it you are going to have a plan on how to attack every major defense you could face. Now, your scheme should always have multiple man beaters that you know can attack all areas of the field. Then it also needs to have quick zone beating plays that you know will consistently move the chains and get you easy completions. Then you need to have intermediate zone beating plays that attack the deep flat area of the field, also plays that attack the seams against cover 3 and put the user in a tough spot attacking the middle of the field. Also, in your quick hitters, you need to know your hot reads that will allow you to beat the blitz if they are bringing heaters at you. Then I always want to have deep shots in my offense that I can go to if they are being predictable and staying in one coverage. I always want to have one cover 3, one play touchdown, and a cover 2 bomb. Now, I have a ton of schemes out for you to use that already check all of these boxes. Right now, I'm working on my empty manning offense that is going to be one of the best passing offenses in Madden 22. Then some of my previous offenses I have released is my Pistol Ravens offense and my Chip Kelly inspired Oregon spread. With all of these schemes, I want to make sure that you have all the necessary plays to ensure you are going to be able to shred no matter what defense you come up against. Now, if you want to check any of these schemes out, I'll leave a playlist for each of them down in the description below. Then I have even more for all of these schemes up on my website, Scheme Kings. This will allow you to take these schemes to the next level, and these are going to bring you some brand new ways to play and give you some of the most fun offenses you have used in Madden 22. Now, if you want to check out Scheme Kings, I will leave a link down in the description below. Now, tip number 2 is how to read a defense at the line of scrimmage. This is such a vital skill to be a high-level passer because it allows us to always ensure we are in the perfect play call to attack whatever defense we come up. Now, the first thing you are going to look for whenever reading a defense, it doesn't matter what scheme, offense you are running, you want to check the safety. Now, we are looking for 2 things. Is it middle field open or middle field closed? What this means, if it's middle field open, it is going to be 2 split safeties high. And then middle field closed is a single high post safety. So that is going to narrow what they can be in down. But next, we want to look at the corners. For these players, you want to check the shade. Are they inside shade or outside shade, or are they head up? And we want to look at how much cushion are they giving the receiver across from them. And if we still aren't sure what they are in, we want to look to the nickelbacks and the linebackers. Then once again, we are looking for the shades they are giving to the receivers. Also, we want to see if there's receivers uncovered or if players are lined up across from them. Now, I've already released an even more in-depth breakdown on how to read all the different coverages in the game. So if you really want to hone in on this skill and make it even better, I'll leave a link to the full video down in the description below. Tip number 3 is setting up pass protection. Now, this is going to be a huge key to be a high-level passer, especially if your opponent is bringing heavy blitzes. Now, I think where most people go wrong with blocking up blitzes this year is they just block their running back and they think they will be fine. But this year in Madden, the best way to block up most blitzes is actually blocking your tight end. This is going to do a way better job of picking up most of the 5 to 6 man blitzes that people are using this year in Madden. Running backs tend to do a very bad job of picking up looping blitzes, or if they start the blitz on the opposite side of the running back, they have a tough time getting over to it. But when you block your tight end, the whole line does a way better job of shifting 2 blitzes and just picks up way more of them. Now, where I actually like to block my running back is if they are just rushing 4 and I want to have extra time in the pocket. This is where the running back really excels. He does a great job of picking up D linemen who get off blocks, giving you that extra second to get the throw off. Then the last thing you can do is if they are bringing all out blitzes that you're having a super difficult time picking up, even when you're blocking your tight end, then we can max protect. This is where you block your tight end and your running back, but to make this the most effective, we want to make sure to have our tight end and running back on opposite sides of the field. Now, our 4th skill is going to be pocket presence. This is one of the most underrated skills you can have and probably the one that I struggle with the most. This is actually stepping up in the pocket to avoid the rush and not just constantly backing up. This is a huge issue that a lot of people have, and when you back up when you don't need to, this is actually going to increase sheds along the D line. Once you pass about 12 to 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage, the D ends are going to get auto sheds and come screaming in at the QB. So what you actually want to do is step up in the pocket and feel where the pressure is coming from, then slide to avoid it. This is going to give your O-line a second chance at making their block and just give the defense less of a chance of getting those glitchy sheds. The other underrated thing with climbing up into the pocket is it's actually going to shorten up your throws. Now, if you think about it, if you drop an extra 15 yards back, this is going to leave the ball hanging up in the air for so much longer and allowing the DB extra time to get to the receiver and make a play. The other thing I see a lot of people do is they leave the pocket when they don't have to. You should never leave a clean pocket unless you're using an ability like Escape Artist and it is actually part of your scheme. But for most players, they will take off and run outside the pocket for no reason. And this is once again going to allow the D line way more sheds, and it is also going to take away half the field for you to throw to. If you roll to the right, now the whole left side of the field is basically gone and you are taking away a ton of your receiving options. Now, tip number 5 is situational throws and catches. Now, understanding the situation in the game and the different variables happening at the area of the field you are going to throw to is massive. Now, the main type of throw that you need to perfect that can really take you to that high level passer is a low ball. Low balls are absolutely amazing for tight window throws, especially on 3rd and 4th down. These throws are going to drop the ball low and your receiver will secure it while falling to the ground. These throws are incredibly difficult to intercept for the CPU or the user and should be used for throws over the middle of the field or cutting out towards the sideline. These are great when you have an open passing lane to make the throw, but they're defenders in the area making it a tight window. Now, to make these throws, you want to hold L2 and then hit the receiver icon that you want to throw to. Now, the other variation of this throw is high balls. Now, I don't use them a ton and I don't think they're great in Madden 22, but if you do want to mess around with them, they're basically going to throw the ball high for a jump ball. If you do want to make this throw, it's going to be holding L1 and then the receiver icon. Then the next part of this equation is using the right catching animation. This is going to allow us to ensure we get the most out of every throw we make. The first type of animations are possession catches. This can work similar to low balls in the fact we want to use it on tight window throws over the middle of the field. This will trigger the receiver to brace for hits and allow him to hold onto the ball much better when getting hit. But this type of catch should also be used along the sideline for throws where you need to be able to keep both feet in bounds. Now, if you find yourself struggling to get both feet down, this could be a major reason why. To activate this animation, you want to hit X as the ball is coming to your receiver. Now, the second type of catch is the rack catch. This is great when you are in the open field with no one around you. You want to get some big yards down the field. It is also what you should use on your deep one-play touchdowns if you are in the clear. The downside with these animations is if you get hit at all when you are trying to catch the ball, it is going to get knocked out very easily. So only use it when you are in the clear. Then the third type of catch is going to be aggressive or ag catches. This is best with a big body receiver and an ability like deep out elite. Usually this is used on slightly underthrow balls when you come back to the football and high point it. This is very situational and takes a ton of practice, but for those players who perfect it, it can be an absolute nightmare to go up against. Now, having all these skills at your disposal is going to make you a very high level passer. But if you don't understand the strengths and weaknesses of every defense and how you need to attack them, then none of this is going to matter. So to learn all of that, you need to check out my ultimate Madden passing guide. To check that out, click right here.